The first month of 2024 is already over. Kinda crazy. It is super crazy. I do not like it, but there are some shoes in February that I do like. Now disclaimer, there's probably some shoes that haven't been announced yet that's gonna drop this month. I don't know about them, so I couldn't include it in this list, so subject to change, but can't really do anything about that. Here we go. Now first is an honorable mention. I could have made this the number 10, but yeah, I just don't feel like it's a shoe that I would have put it on like a top 10 list. This month honestly is pretty quiet for me in terms of sneakers. Nothing really gets me super excited apart from a few of them. So technically this is just a top 9 list, but here's an honorable mention. It is the Adidas Crazy 8 All-Star. Now this shoe is dropping on February 15th for $140. Now Kobe Bryant, if you didn't know, before he was with Nike, he was with Adidas first, and he made his first All-Star game in his second year in the NBA. So in 1998, during the All-Star game, he wore this shoe, a very retro, kind of crazy looking shoe, true to its name, crazy looking shoe. This was during a period where basketball shoes were pretty much all high cuts. Kobe Bryant, funnily enough, was actually the one to kind of challenge that status quo. He was like, if soccer players wear low cut shoes and they don't really have a ton of ankle problems, why can't basketball players do it as well? So it kind of changed the game. And in terms of the materials and specs, I think they're pretty close one-to-one to the originals. The one thing they did change here was they changed the 8 that's embroidered at the bottom of the eye stays, changed it to 98 instead to represent the 1998 All-Star game. I think they don't want to make like direct references to Kobe Bryant. He's obviously with Nike. Now I'll be honest, it's not like I love this shoe, but I do love Kobe Bryant. I feel like this shoe is just such a throwback, so nostalgic, so had to give it a shout out. And at number 9, it is the KD4 Galaxy that is dropping on February 15th for $130. Now Kevin Durant first wore this shoe in the 2012 All-Star game. Now this time Nike basketball was inspired by space. That year also featured the Foamposite Galaxies, probably the most popular colorway of the foams ever. And now the KD4 Galaxy is making a comeback. Now this shoe features custom branded insoles, obviously very space inspired, and a pretty muted colorway. You got space-like commands on the strap that goes across, and the midsole obviously has a space theme. Now I think the KD4s look pretty nice. I don't like it as much as the KD3s. That's probably my favorite KDs ever. The recent KDs like the 16s, the 15s, not a huge fan of, and partly because February, I think in my opinion, is a pretty weak month for sneakers. So even though I don't love the KD4s, it's not like I love this colorway, this shoe still made the list. But just a preview, that's not the only KD4 on this list. Next up at number 8, it is the Adidas AE1 All-Star. Now there's not a lot of release details for the shoe yet, but I believe it is releasing around All-Star weekend this year. I think personally, Anthony Edwards is one of the most exciting young players in the NBA right now, and he probably has the best new active signature basketball shoes in the game. I think Nike basketball recently has kind of fallen behind. All of their shoes look pretty similar. I think the Sabrina ones, they were pretty exciting, but nothing too exciting. But I think the AE ones, yeah, these are nice. I actually have the AE1 Stormtroopers in hand. Gonna make a review of that very shortly. And overall, I think the AE ones are a standout. Super comfortable shoe. I think they actually work for casual use as well. It's very futuristic looking, but not so crazy that you can't wear them. It features Boost as well as Light Strike, has Anthony Edwards logo on the tongue of the shoe, and this very iridescent TPU overlay looking upper sole. Just like his game, this shoe gets me super excited. Next up at number 7 is the Kobe 8 Protro Radiant Emerald that is dropping on February 8th for $190. Now this is also the same day that Kobe Bryant's statue is going to be revealed outside Staples Center, or what is it now? Crypto.com Arena or something like that. It's going to be Staples forever for me. And there's actually 2 colorways of this shoe, and the other one is that court purple colorway. I do like this colorway more. Features numbers 8 and 24. Obviously Kobe Bryant's numbers when he played all over the upper sole. But I'll be honest, I think this is one of the weaker colorways for recent Kobe Protros. And if it wasn't because this is Kobe Bryant, someone that was in my top 3 favorite players ever, this shoe probably would not get me super excited. But anytime a Kobe Bryant shoe comes out, you know in terms of performance, it's going to be good. And there's just a special meaning to it. It's kind of like Allen Iverson shoes. I can't help but get excited. I think the Kobe 4 Protro, I believe was the Kobe 4 Protro Philly colorway, is coming out later this year. That is a shoe that I'm really looking forward to. This one, the colorway, it's a little bit messy, a little bit busy, but I still think, because it is a Kobe Bryant shoe, I still think it's nice. So it still made my list. And 2024 is going to be a pretty exciting year for Kobe's shoes. A lot of colorways have been announced, or Vanessa Bryant has posted a lot of new PEs, colorways that are coming back. So if you're a Kobe fan like me, this year's gonna be a good one. Next, at number 6, it is another KD4. It is the KD4 Year of the Dragon 2.0. That is dropping on February 7th for $150. Now, the first KD4 Year of the Dragon came out in 2012. That was obviously a very different looking KD4, and because there's 12 Zodiac animals, 12 years later, 2024, we get another Year of the Dragon KD4. Now, a lot of people have compared this to the first version of the shoe, and they actually prefer that one. Myself, I do like this more muted, brownish kind of colorway better, so I really like this shoe. In particular, I really like that kind of wood texture or wooden aesthetic that you see going across that strap, and that raised embroidered dragon that's on the heel of the shoe that extends to the booty. That looks awesome. You also get this very cool looking box and a bag. And one thing that I do really like about the KD4s, it's got my preferred tech specs if I'm playing ball. Phylon midsole with Zoom Air on the forefoot, as well as the heel. I just can't change my ways. I grew up playing in those kind of tech specs, so that's still kind of what I prefer. Yeah, I think this is a super nice shoe. I think it'll probably sell out very quickly, but I see a lot of people preferring the first version over this one. I'm the opposite. I like this one better. Next up at number 5, it is the Air Jordan 1 Black White that's coming out on February 24th for $180. Now, I've actually already got that shoe in hand. I made a review of it, gonna come out very shortly. I think it's a nice shoe. It's a very simple colorway, super wearable colorway. I like black sneakers, black Jordan 1 or black base Jordan 1s, right up my alley. Can't really go wrong with a black and white Jordan 1, so yeah, this shoe made sense. Next up at number 4, it is the Nike SB Dunk Low City of Love that's coming out for $125 on February 9th. Now, this shoe is one of 2 colorways. I personally prefer the burgundy colorway a lot more, and this is to celebrate Valentine's Day. So there's a few messages of love sprinkled on this shoe. It looks to feature a mix of suede as well as leather. And then you'll see this red string that goes across the tongue. And that is supposed to represent an unbreakable bond. And the insole, there's also custom graphics on it with a hand with the same type of red string hanging off the pinky. It's like a pinky promise to your partner. Now, I'm not a huge Nike Dunk guy. I only get it when it's like a super nice colorway. And if you didn't know, I really like burgundy color or like maroon colors on shoes. Now, right behind me, you'll see like the Jordan 5 Burgundy, a bunch of Armand Manier collaborations. They obviously have a lot of maroon. For whatever reason, I just think that burgundy, when you put it on shoes, just kind of elevates a little bit. And honestly, if it was just the other colorway, I wouldn't even look at that shoe twice. I wouldn't get it at all. But this colorway, I think it's super nice. The first SB Dunk that I like in 2024. And at number 3, it is the Air Force 1 Year of the Dragon. Now, this shoe just got announced, just got revealed, and I'm kind of cheating a little bit here because this is dropping for $365, unattainable to most people, and it's also China exclusive. It's probably gonna resell for like $1,000 at least. Super unattainable. I'm definitely not gonna be able to get my hands on the shoe, but in a perfect world, yeah, I think this is super nice. I know initial opinions were kind of mixed on the shoe. A lot of people hated it. It was too busy, too messy. Personally, I think it's cool. I think it looks good. It reminds me a lot of the Clot Air Force 1s where they use their silk upper sole. Obviously, me as an Asian person, I appreciate that kind of Eastern influence on a sneaker. So this shoe featuring a gold silk upper sole with flowers and that raised dragon embroidery on the left shoe and a phoenix on the right shoe. The pattern on the aglet on the eye stays, as well as the tongue. That's actually a Chinese character, or technically 2 Chinese characters. So you split it down the middle. That character says happiness. And when you put it together, that is often used around Lunar New Year. That literally means like double happiness. So it's supposed to kind of resemble good luck, good fortune. So it's not just a random bunch of patterns on a shoe. It's busy, but I think it works. It just looks really intricate. And it's one of those collector sneakers. Might not necessarily wear them because it's kind of hard to wear, but sitting on your shelf just kind of makes you smile. I like this shoe. Number 2, it is the Air Jordan 1 85 Metallic Burgundy. This is the second Jordan 1 85 cut to come out in 2024. I reviewed the Jordan 1 Low 85 Metallic Blue very recently. Very nice and clean shoe. I think all the metallic Jordan 1s are super clean. And me, as someone that really likes that color, I'm looking forward to this one. The 85 cut, obviously as close to the original specs as possible, and this being an OG colorway, it's always just gonna have that extra kind of significance to it. We don't see 85 cuts very often, even though there's already been 2 in 2024, but usually it doesn't come out as often as like another Jordan 1 high OG. So anytime it comes out, I get slightly more excited, and I really think this is a very, very clean, easy to wear, simple, but easy to wear shoe. Between this one and the metallic blue low, It's a toss-up. I could go with any one. I like both of them equally. That one's actually coming out in March in the United States, already out in Europe, so you can get it pretty easily. So technically this shoe is coming out first. Out of the two, yeah, can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. And at number 1, couldn't be any other shoe. It was obvious. It is the Air Jordan 4 Bred Reimagined. Now I actually just filmed the review of that shoe, kind of losing my voice because I just did it. Bred, or black cement colorway of the Jordan 4, obviously an OG. The reimagining of this shoe is they swapped out the nubuck for leather, just like the Jordan 11 Gratitude where they swapped out the ballistic nylon mesh for leather. I, as someone that loves leather, I welcome the change. The shape is also closer to the Jordan 4 SB Pine Green, and that's a welcome change because it's a slightly slimmer toe box, not as boxy as a general Jordan 4 that we're used to seeing. The black, red, and white colorway is one of my favorites. As a black sneaker lover, I am in love with this colorway. It is probably my second favorite colorway after like the UNC blue on sneakers ever. Just really like the color blocking, really like the combination of colors here. The Jordan 4 cannot go wrong. This one was like a surefire number 1 for my most anticipated sneaker of February. Not even close. Not even close. But if you want to know my detailed thoughts on this shoe, it's going to be my next video, so keep an eye out for that one. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Soul Inclined. Let me know what shoes you're excited for this month. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.